There you go. All right, thank you for being here at this evening hour yoga practice. This is I think on the schedule, this is all levels flow. So it means we're not going too crazy. It's just sort of a nice evening break for the day. So we get stretchy, we build a little bit of strength, but nothing to the point where you're going to feel like you're out of breath or hardcore sweating, unless of course you're in a really hot room, or if you're out in the sun, or this room in here is actually quite a greenhouse effect with a little bit of heat. So if you're in a regular environment in your home, it's going to be just a nice, like, let's feel good. So shoulders, hips, breath, body, a little bit of core work, everything. We've got an hour together. So that's the time we have, and plenty of time to make ourselves feel rejuvenated, refreshed, and replenished. So let's begin in our child's pose position. Sit back on the heels, extend the arms. And what we can do with video, which is a little more challenging than in person sometimes, is mostly try to listen to my verbal cues. I will be here demonstrating everything that I'm doing, but I'm not able to see you in person to see exactly what's going on. So being aware of what I'm saying and turning your listening ears on. I know we all learn differently, visually, audibly, or through feeling. So let's do our best to hear what I'm saying so we don't have to lift our head so much. So let's draw the forehead down towards the floor, outstretch the arms longer, and take those knees maybe a little wider than the belly so you can snuggle in and press down through the hands. In this pose, we'll get rid of any distractions, and we'll start to tune into the breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. Find a longer but equal duration of inhale and exhale. How about longer on the exhale? Two more deep breaths. And one more. Let's shift your way forward to the hands and knees. Just taking a slow journey to hands and knees as you walk those hands back. It might take a couple steps to walk back and find the center of your mat. Roll the shoulders back, down the back of the body, gazing forward just beyond the hands. Cat and cow pose, arching that back, look up, inhale. Round the back as you exhale, pull that belly in, chest up, chin tucks. And do that a few times back and forth. And do that once more. And come back to a neutral position. And I want us to try the opposite breath of what we just did. So as you inhale, round the back and lift. Feel out more space in the upper back and all through the back. As you exhale, contract the back. So that's what you're working to contract. Arch the back, look up. And it feels slightly different. Inhale, rounding, finding space in the back of the body, less focus on the front. Inhale, or exhale, squeezing the shoulders, arching the back. And go back and forth a few times. So that was our reverse style of breathing with our cat and cow. So let's come back to a neutral position. Walk those hands forward and just getting into a nice little heart opener with our puppy pose. So let's melt the heart and the chin. Extend the arms, keep the hips up. Walk it forward and walk the hands back. Shift forward, walk the hands back. Now we're back onto our hands and knees. Tuck the toes under. Heading towards downward facing dog. Lift the knees and send the hips up and back. So you're kind of in a short stance down dog. We're not here for too long, and that's okay. So you bend the knees a couple times. It's the first time we're in this down dog. So stretch out the calves and the hamstrings. Relax the head and the neck. Then walk your feet forward just behind your hands into a forward fold. You're going to release the hands from the floor, grab opposite elbows, shake out the head, sway from side to side. See if we can get heavier through the back of the body. Eyes can stay open or closed. This forward fold pose is a mild, slight inversion. And this inversion can help blood flow circulate through the body and also can help with blood flow to the brain, meaning help with creativity if we're ever feeling a little stuck. So if you need a little bit more creativity or focus, a nice little forward fold for a few breaths can really help. Release your hands back down to the floor. Bend the knees just a little bit, enough so that the palms are down. Plant one hand to the ground and reach with the opposite hand for a twist. Reach up. And you might bend one knee, just the one that naturally bends more, and straighten the other. And then switch it. Exhale down. Inhale, reach up and twist. One deep breath in. And then take it back to the floor. One breath each side again. Inhale. Let's take it to that twist. Exhale to the fold. Inhale to the twist. Other side. Exhale down. Bend the knees and roll yourself up slowly to a standing pose. Hands down by your side. Good. Reach those arms up. Take your hands to your heart and pause. We're going to do a flow of sun salutations. We'll do quarter, half, and then full sun salutations in groups of 3. So let's do that circle sweep of the arms again. Reach up, connect the hands, maybe look up, find a little back bend. Exhale, hands to your heart. Do it again. Inhale, circle the arms out and up. Exhale, hands to your heart. And once more, arms out and up, reach up, hands to your heart. Now you can take your feet together or slightly apart for our half sun salutations. Arms down, reach out and up. Exhale, fold forward by taking those arms wide, hinging at the hips, down to this folded position. Lengthen your back halfway, hands on the shins, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, fold it down, belly towards the thighs, hands to the floor. Then rising back up, bend in the knees, open those arms and reach out and lift up. Hands to your heart. That was our half sun salutation. Let's do that 2 more times. Arms down, inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold, a little deeper. Inhale, rising tall, reach out, lift up, find bend in the knees until you straighten to the top. Hands to your heart. Once more, circle those arms up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, lengthen that back. Exhale, forward fold. Nice meditative flow. Inhale, rising up. Hands to your heart. Sun salutation A, a full sun A. We'll do the first one slow. Reach out and up, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, hands on the shins or fingertips to the floor. Exhale, plant the hands down and step your feet back to your plank pose. Let's take the knees down for the first one, shifting forward a little bit more. Hug the elbows towards the rib cage. We've got this chaturanga. We can always also come down to the belly and then either head to a modified up dog on the knees or lifting the heart to cobra pose, squeezing those shoulders. Pressing into the hands and knees, tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. Take 2 deep breaths. At the end of that breath, bend the knees, step, or you can hop forward. I'm going to step forward today. Half lift, inhale, exhale, forward fold. Rising up tall, inhale, reach up. And then standing at attention, sometimes called Samasthiti, hands to your heart. Arms out and up, inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, look forward beyond the mat. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back, plank pose. And take an extra inhale. You can take the knees down or stay up on the toes. Exhale, chaturanga. Elbows in, 90 degrees or less. Up dog or cobra pose. Exhale, downward dog. And just one more breath. So we have one more sun salutation A. Bend the knees, step or hop to the top of the mat. Half lift. Forward fold. Rising tall, inhale, reach up. Hands to the heart. Nice job. Let's do it again. Reach out and up. Last sun A. Exhale, forward fold. But we'll keep moving. Half lift, inhale. Getting kind of flowy today. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. Deep breath, inhale, shift forward on the tippy toes. Exhale, descend. Inhale, heart opens wide. Exhale, hips up and back, downward dog. One more deep breath. And we're stepping forward or jumping forward on the exhale. Half lift. Forward fold. Let's go to chair pose. Bend the knees, sit back, reach up. Keeping those hips low, take the hands behind the back. Interlace the fingers or grab the wrists. As you press down, chest opens, a little bit of a back bend in your chair pose. Squeeze the shoulders, pull the lower belly in though, so it's not too much of a back bend, but feeling the shoulders squeeze together. Now get a little lower, keeping the hands as they are, fold forward. Move those hands side to side. Then release your hands down to the floor. Lengthen that back, half lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold back to chair pose one more time. Sit back, reach up, hands to your heart. And do a little elbow tap into a twist. So take a deep breath in, preparing. Then tap the left elbow to the right knee. Touch, knees squeeze together, or you can take it wide, but as long as the knees point forward. Press into that top hand. One more breath as you look up past that shoulder. Back to the center, reach up. Forward fold, hands through the heart. Let's take it down. Lengthen the back, inhale. Now step your left foot back into a lunge. Back knee comes down. Flatten that back foot and take those hands to the outside and inside of the right foot. So a couple of blocks can help here too, or we can take the hand to the thigh. It's all up to you. See how your body feels. It should feel stretchy, not too strenuous. So as we inhale, lift the heart a little bit more. Exhale, Send the hips back, half splits, pull the toes back. Pause. Rotate the toes right to left, side to side, kind of like a little windshield wiper. Working through and finding the outsides and the insides of the calf and the shin. Okay, and then pull the toes straight back towards the knee, like you're trying to draw energy out through the heel. Tailbone back, abs in. And shift forward again, kneeling. Knee down. Left hand stays down on the inside of that right foot. Right arm goes forward and around. Let's do a twist. Hopefully it's the same direction as you just were with that chair twist. Reach up. Lengthening through that back leg. Finding more reach through that top arm. Straight up. And then we take that right hand forward and down on the inside of that right foot. Heel to the right foot out to the side a little bit more into a low lizard lunge. Still on the knee. Of course, if it's bothersome on the knee, you can lift it as a variation or take a towel or a blanket and place it underneath the knee. But pause here, just on the hands. So no need to get to the elbows or anywhere super deep right now or ever. But pause here. More of a stretch for that left leg. Press the right elbow towards, or right shoulder towards the right knee, and vice versa. Good. Tuck the back toes under. Now everybody, including you, lift your back knee. Now you step the right foot back, 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 back. Adjust the hands as needed, and keep the right leg lifted as you step back. Right leg lifts high to a single leg down dog. Bend the knee, flex that right foot, and maybe open up a little bit. Keep that weight in the right hand. It tends to, slip over to the side. So let's keep equal weight in the hands. As we lift that right knee, right heel towards left shoulder. Good. And then straighten that right leg, level off the hips. Toes point down. Bend the knee again, but keep neutral hips and pelvis. Step the right foot between the hands into a lunge. So you might help it up there into your lunge. Back knee stays up this time. Crawl or sweep those arms up. High lunge, crescent lunge. Shoulders over the hips. Soften. Similar to what we just did, actually. We'll do the same series, just off of that back knee. So we'll straighten that front leg, hands come down to your thigh. Back heel stays lifted. Hips are squared and scissoring, pulling that right hip back, left hip forward. And a little micro bend in that front knee is always good. Good, and then rebend that right knee, hands to your heart. Deep breath in, twist. Take the right elbow to the left elbow to right leg. Press into that top hand, look up past that right shoulder. And we're not going to do the whole sequence. We'll just do these two poses. Reach back up. Let's take it on the inhale back to straight up. Hands to the floor. Step the back foot forward into your forward fold. That's enough for that right side. Nice and heated. So it'll give us some good heat to stretch out a bit later. Take a half lift. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, sit back to chair pose. Reach up. Second side. Take those hands behind the back. Again, interlace the fingers or grab the wrists as you press down, squeezing the shoulders, pulling belly in, and sitting back so the knees are behind the toes. Just breathing as we move. So there's no need to get too caught up if our breath is not the same as mine. But instead, just focusing on deep breaths, maintaining that fluid breath as your goal through your practice. If it gets to be too much, back off a bit. Like it's okay to shake it out. It's okay to take a break. All right, release the hands, reach up. Let's take the hands to the heart and twisting to the other side this time. Deep breath in, over to the left side, or the opposite of what you did first. Press into that top hand. Heels, toes together, or pointed the same direction. Back to center, reach up. Chair pose, forward fold, exhale, straighten the legs. Lengthen in your back, half lift. And step that right foot back into your lunge. This should feel so good because I feel like we stretched out that right hip flexor and quad quite a bit. So now it's the right side's turn. Okay, back knee down. Hands can be on the floor or your thigh. We're going to hold here for a moment. See if we can find a little more length, a little more lift through the chest. If your hands are in front of your foot, let's walk them back so they're in line with that the middle of the arch of the foot. Everything's stacked. Stacking joints is what's going to keep our bodies, the mechanics of our bodies most safe. So shoulders over wrists, knee over ankle. We are leaning forward, but we've got this nice straight line from our upper body, from our head to our back knee. And then straighten that front leg as you pull the hips back, half splits. Let's take that foot and move it side to side. Rotate the toes, right, left. Maybe circles, but we're keeping the toes pulling back. Feel more in the calves, that lower leg area. And then now taking those toes straight back and pause. You can even hold on if you want with your hands. Again, let's take it forward. Back to our low kneeling lunge. Kneeling lunge. Right hand stays down close to that right foot. Left arm reaches up for the twist. So left hand either on the knee, reaching, or on the hip. Check in with your shoulders. And even that back knee, remember, you can lift it. It's a little bit more strenuous or heat building to lift that back knee, but it might be better for your knee. I'm always very conscious of the knees. Anywhere where I've had an injury and I know what that feels like, I like to at least mention. Good, take a big reach and then sending that left hand forward and down to the inside of that left foot. Heel toe the left foot out to the side a little bit more of a hip stretch, a low lizard lunge with that knee down. Just the hands on the ground, no big deal here. Not trying to get super low. Fists are also helpful on the ground, fists or even blocks or books, anything that's going to lift the floor higher. And I know we're holding, not too long, but holding some of these poses. So as you hold, and if your mind wanders, bring it back to the breath. It always comes back to the breath. Good. Hands back down and plant them down, tuck the back toes, let's lift the back knee. And we walk the left foot back, and it might be a few steps to get there. The left foot will continue back and lift it. Bend the knee, maybe rotate through that ankle. Open up the hip, external rotation. Try to continue to lift that knee up and back. See what happens. You could be on that right knee as well. Less about the down dog shape, more about getting that left hip open and engaging that left glute or the glutes. Good, and then extend that left leg and level off the hips for the single leg. So we might not be way up, but our leg is still up, neutral hips and pelvis. Bend the left knee. You're going to step between the hands. Again, you can help it forward, or as you exhale, create space, shift forward, step between the hands or somewhere close to it. Crescent lunge version. So from low lunge to reaching up, high lunge, back knee is lifted. Shoulders over the hips. See if we can straighten that back leg, giving a little bit more squeeze here. Then straighten the front leg, hands come down to your thigh. We'll hinge forward, back heel stays lifted. You want to step in a little bit, that does help. Lengthen the crown of the head, the spine, trying to move more forward than down. So we're not trying to fold over the leg, instead extending it forward. Good, and then rebend that left knee. We'll lift back up, just taking the hands to the heart, and we twist to the left side. Deep breath in, and we twist. Try to keep that right knee lifted. Left hand pressing down towards the right. So you're wringing out the body, lengthen or squeezing out through that midsection, and then finding your way spiraling up the spine to the crown of the head, gaze over the left shoulder. And then rise back up to the center, reach up, hands to the floor, step forward into your forward fold. Let's take it down into our forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold down. Rising up, no chair pose this time, mountain pose. Arms out, rise up. And hands at your heart. So first of all, nice job. That was more of our heat building. So we did a few sun salutations and then got some strength built up in the legs. So I'm gonna move on to a little bit of balance. Keeping it simple. Tree pose. So pick a leg. Now, which leg do we want to do? Let's do right foot down, and take that left foot, and I might be the opposite of you. So take your left foot up. This is where, listen to what I'm saying. Take your left foot up into that tree position. So knee out, hips forward, knee drawing back. And your foot can be anywhere up the leg, avoiding the knee. Hands then will reach up or reach out. And let's take the elbows and bend them. Bend them just a little bit. Let's find a little more openness by pressing the elbows back like a back bend. Heart open, squeeze the shoulders. Knee goes back, hips forward, and try to get the elbows and the knees to send themselves backwards. Look up, maybe close the eyes. And reach back up, release the squeeze in the shoulders. Hands come down to your heart. Take one more inhale. Exhale, let it go. Take that foot down. Of course, we need a little ankle rotation. So other side, we're going to take that right foot, the other foot, in, up the leg, anywhere your foot's available to go. Pushing equally foot to leg. Now, what we want to avoid is having to bend over to pick up and yank the leg up. So if it can come up easily, then we can put it to the inner thigh. This one actually, once we get the flexibility to get to this pose, to me, is a lot easier than this here. So this would be my challenge pose. My foot on my calf. And we'll take those arms out and up. Then bend the elbows, same thing. Press it back, squeeze between the shoulder blades like you're trying to pinch a pencil in between and hold it there. Squeeze your glutes so you're able to move that right knee back. I see some falling out of tree pose. That's okay. It happens quite frequently. Find a single gaze point to look at. And then reach up. And then let it go. Take that foot down. It'll shake out. And come back to the front of the mat. We're going to get into a little more heart opening. We did some nice lunges to get us prepared for that. Back bends are squeezing the shoulders. So top of the mat, reach those arms up. This is just our transition. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Exhale, take the feet back, walk them back, plant the hands down. We got downward facing dog. Let's just pause there. Knees come down. A little wider. Sit back on the heels, extend the arms. Back to child's pose again, where we started. From child's pose, shift forward through the hands and knees. Still kneeling, shoulders shift forward, lengthen the body into that modified plank pose. Hug the elbows to the rib cage and very slowly lower. Keep sending your heart forward, your gaze forward until you lower down to your belly, chest, and chin. Legs together. Reach those arms back. Hands can lift up. Shoulders squeeze back. Squeeze the legs together and lift. Lift the legs, lift the upper body. And we'll try something different today, or something to me is different. I don't do this a whole lot. So lower back down. Take your left arm forward, reach it forward. Use your right hand to roll onto the left side of your body. This is one of the safest balance poses ever because we're like an inch off the floor. So you can use your right hand as a little prop or support right now. Lift the legs off the ground. So you've still got a straight body. Lift the legs off. See if you can lift that right hand, maybe the left hand. And you might reach with that right hand. Similar to what we did, but now we're working these right obliques and different core muscles to stabilize and help us balance. And you might become like a little wiggly worm. That's okay. Good. And lower back down. Whew. Back to your belly. Take a little break. You can rest your forehead onto your hands or your cheek to your mat. And then back to what we did first is our locust pose, where we reach back, shoulders back, squeeze the legs together, lift up, lift the hands, and feel the back of the body working to strengthen. And lower back down. Reach your right arm forward. Use your left hand to roll onto your right side. Now keeping your body in as straight a line as you're able to. Flex the feet, or just keep the feet together and lift the legs. Then practice and maybe find that left arm lifting or right hand reaching. And breathe. Good place to stay and breathe a while. Good. And lower back down onto your belly. Take that little rest. Crocodile pose or knee cheek to the mat. All right, so we have one more pose on our belly, our prone position. You can choose to do locust pose where we've been before, or bend both knees. Reach back and find the ankles. Big toes touch, knees hip distance. Press the feet into the hands and lift what you can. Bow pose. A few good deep breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. And slowly release that. Take the hands under the shoulders, press into hands and knees. Child's pose with the knees a little closer together this time as you round more into the back. Okay, shift forward back to hands and knees. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Thread the needle pose. So we'll do right arm first. So we're going to take our right arm, reach it up high, find a little twist, and then simply slide that right arm underneath the left shoulder as you reach to opposite side of the room. Left hand can either press down or reach forward, finding where your left hand, where you want to put it. You can take your left hand around your back. Another option, and I'll turn for this, another option you could as well do is with that right arm extended, left hand behind the back or on the floor, you can take that left foot and make a little kickstand up to the side. What that does is create maybe a little bit more twist in the upper body, so you're able to almost like roll onto the back of your head. Slightly different sensation. Let's take that left hand back to where it goes. If you picked up the leg, take your knee back to where it goes. Press into the left hand and reach up with that right arm. And then take it back down. Other side. Left arm reaches up and slide it underneath. Thread the needle. And finding the variations of the arms. Maybe kickstand with that right foot. And taking that right hand back up and around. Knee comes back. You can slide that left arm back through and up, one reach. And back to the ground, both hands down. You're going to sit back on the heels and swing the legs around. Sit down. Take your feet forward, feet about hip distance apart, knees bent. Hands behind you, elbows to the back of the room, press down through the feet, and lift the hips. Just one more nice little squeeze for those shoulders, like working shoulders. I know we did shoulders last week, but it's a good place to build some strength, some openness, Shoulders and hips, two major joints of the body we want to take care of. And lower it back down. This time extend the left leg. Take the right knee, ankle above the knee, make a little figure four seated. So this seated figure four might be enough for you. If it's ever too much, you can take the foot to the inner thigh and just allow the knee to go out to the side. So you can either fold forward or bend the left knee with the hands behind you into the seated figure four. So this is in place of our pigeon pose today. Flexing through that right foot. Going to continue to try to get that knee farther away from us. Right, flipping those hands so the fingertips point towards the toes. If your leg is straight, bend it just a little bit, even just to place the foot down on the floor. Press into the hands and the left foot, lift the hips. Reverse tabletop with a figure four in the legs. And lower back down. Switch it. So you just switch the legs, give it a little, actually take the leg straight and give it a little like shake out, little wiggle, massage in that right side. Of course, good posture. I tend to, do some of this at a computer a lot, so I've got to be conscious of right posture tall. Switch sides, taking that left ankle above the knee. Again, you might work it here, or bend the knee and work it there. And if you have straight leg, let's bend the knee a little bit in, press into the hands either turned out or towards your toes, lift the hips. See what that does. If you try to keep the hips level when you lift them, so rather than tilting to the side, let's lift through both left and right side. Spread through the collarbone area. Look up, not tilting your head too far back, but looking up. Good, and lower back down. Release that, straighten both legs. And give a little shake, massage, taps. Keep both legs straight. So you roll the inner thighs a little closer together, create space in the back of the legs, sit tall. Reach those arms up. Exhale, hinging forward, take it down, forward fold. You may or may not grab the feet today or ever. Take the hands next to your legs. And walk yourself back up. Again, sit up tall. Take the feet together, knees open wide. Let's do a bound angle. So taking the hands behind you, deep breath up. Exhale, hinging forward or helping press forward with the hands behind you, or grab the feet. One way might be a little bit better for your shift forward. If you're grabbing the feet, press the elbows into the thighs, helping to open those knees a bit more. Feet open, gaze forward, not down. Helps your body move forward. Good, and lift back up. We're going to take those knees together and do our transition to the ground. Reaching forward, slowly roll it down. Extend through the legs way in front of you and reach your hands behind you. Long stretch. And then hug your knees in, very close. Hug it in and rock from side to side. Left, right, circle through that low back. And while you're hugging your knees, keep your right knee in, extend the left leg forward and down. Hug close to the chest, take a deep breath in. Let's twist. Take that right leg across the mat. You can pick up that left hip just a bit. As you turn the leg across, knee down, extend and open the arm out to the side. So let's bring that leg back up to the top. And hug the knee in. Let's move it a little bit more. So side to side, or just keeping it close. Take a little bit more movement through that hip, that leg. You might grab the foot with the opposite hand and move it, or upside down lunge it. Half happy baby. Okay, then let's switch. So reset the knee, hug it close once more. Extend the right leg. Hug the left knee in. Pressing into that right heel and lifting up onto the right hip this time. Left knee comes across the body. Use your right hand to help it down. Left shoulder, left arm. Heavy, down, relax. And then take that left leg back up to the top. Lift up onto your full back. So we're not right or left or anything. We're centered on our mat. Hug the left knee in and you move it around. So side to side, circles in the hips, so you can grab the foot with one or both hands. And give your knee one more squeeze in and extend it out in front of you. One more pose before Shavasana, and it's going to be a good one. It's our legs up the wall. So you take both legs up. And if you're against an actual wall, feel free to turn and go against the wall and just hang out there. Or continue to stay in the middle of your mat with your legs up. You could place a block or a blanket or something underneath your low back that actually helps to relax you a bit more as it takes the hinge out of the hips and lessens the stretch in the hamstrings. But hands are going to be wherever is most comfortable. Eyes can stay closed or open but soft. And you are welcome to stay a little longer here, especially if your legs are against a wall, an actual wall. This might feel very relaxing. Or we can take it to a Shavasana position that is most comfortable for you. So you might want to hug the knees in or bend them again or reset, or any other last poses before we come down for relaxation. And I hope you do stay. It is the most beneficial part of our practice is this 4 to 5 minutes of Shavasana. So when you feel complete in the movement, you get to extend the legs out, or do what's best for you. Find a relaxing position. It could even be seated. Hands rest by your side. Close your eyes and just allow this peace to wash over you, this place of silence, of rejuvenation. So melt the shoulders, the feet, the eyes closed, jaw and forehead soft. We'll be here for a few minutes, and then I'll lead you back out and we'll finish together. All right, let's start to come back in a way, first by taking a deep breath and wiggling your fingers and your toes. And then after those fingers and the toes, move on to your wrists and ankles. And then reach your hands up overhead for a long stretch. Roll to your side. Pause there. And use that top hand to very gently press you back up to a seated pose. We will finish our practice at 7 o'clock hours. Okay, sitting comfortable, maybe a little taller than we were when we started. Shoulders soft, eyes can gaze down or stay closed. Take an inhale, reach those arms up, connect the hands and bring them down to your heart. Now taking a moment to check in and remind yourself of how you feel in this moment. And it can be tough to sometimes stay motivated, but what we have is discipline and the ability to make choices. So choosing to come to our mat each day, even if for 5 minutes, I hope to be here to encourage you as much as I can. And thank you so much for joining. Take one more deep breath in and out. And I'll see you next time. Namaste. Uh-oh. Are you still seeing me?